Hello everyone, got another air compressor in the shop. Different one. This one's a Jenny air compressor. Same size, same rough dimensions, but this one is a 2-piston. Or is it? It's a 4-piston. Sorry, it's a 4-piston. Don't see these very often. Anyways, this sits on the welding skid. The welding skid sits in the back of a single wheel truck. It's more of our like residential, smaller job type thing. You just toss some light tools in it. It's got a gas welder in it, 305G, and it's got your light stuff. So you can columns, posts, beams, all that kind of stuff. Small repairs, trailer repairs, all those kinds of things. Somewhere you got to go into the city. Truck is under 10,000 pounds, so it's a little less DOT thing, but it still has the niceties of like cable reels and stuff, but you wouldn't want to sit it in a pit gouging all day or something like that. Lots of different jobs for welding, so it's nice to have different things. Guy that works with me, Tyler, he uses this for the most part. So anyways, so complaints are, it does not want to start very easily. Have personally experienced that, and it seems to be temperature based, but I guess, you know, -20, anything's tougher to start than that. So I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to that. But then also the float bowl is leaking. There's gas on it right now because I knocked the fuel line off when I was picking it up. But yeah, so we'll change the carburetor on it, just like we always do. Just toss a carb on it. I'm not gonna clean it or anything. I'm just gonna toss a $47 Chinese carburetor on there. It's Sunday, it's got to go to work tomorrow. We'll put some gaskets on it. I feel like I did an oil change on this recently, and by I feel, I know I did. So we'll see. Yeah, still lots of oil in there. This is tipped up a little bit, but the oil that came out of there looking good. So I'll run that another 50 to 100 hours before I do anything with that, so that's a month away. I don't think I touched the oil in this, so that might be a thing too as well, this being the air compressor. And I feel like I tossed an air cleaner and a spark plug on it last time I had it out, but the spark plug looks crappy and old, so we'll put a new spark plug in it, and we will reuse the air cleaner that I put on a month ago because it's still good. Have a new one, but don't really want to use it if I don't have to. So yeah, I got one of these Amazon kits that you get just to totally redo everything. It's got an ignition coil, this little screen for the bottom of the tank, fuel filter that nobody ever does because they don't come with one. All right, so we got the cover off. I took a gasket face off of here. There's a little spring that goes onto this little hole. And then I just have to remove this from here and this fuel line. I'll have to go grab a pair of vice grips to clamp that off, so there's no like fuel shut off or anything. And then it'll be off. Okay. Well, we've got gasoline everywhere. So these carburetors have like a little barbed fitting on the end of them. As long as you get your hose clamp somewhere below it, it's good. Just have to rehook up our throttle linkage. They come with a new gasket, but this one's still pliable, and I'm going to use that. And there is a reusable gasket that comes from Honda. It's also a spacer, so I'm going to put that one back on there. I believe these are the same. Yep. So this goes back on here, like that. Hook our throttle linkage back up again. Take the little spring and put it on the little tab. There you go. You got your throttle linkage hooked back up again. This is the screw to set how far it revs out. So if you compare, that'll be like basically telling you how much RPMs you're going to get out of the machine when it goes full bore. The threads look about the same. Obviously it's adjustable, but they set it from the factory close enough. I've done a few of these. The only other screw that you can really monkey around with is there's a fuel mixture screw on the side of it. This pushes a needle in, and as it gets tighter, I think it gets leaner, and as it gets looser, it gets richer, or one or the other. You'll know when you start fucking with it. Start getting black smoke, go the other way. Depending on the altitude and everything where you live, sometimes you have to adjust them. I've adjusted them in other videos, and sometimes you have to adjust them more than once. So yeah, I've also had them just come out of the box and work perfect, so let's see. But yeah, this stuff here, I don't really want to put an impact on that. I'm just going to assume that these two are tight for now. I'll get a wrench in a minute. Fuel's on, good. So before I put all that plastic and stuff back on, I'm probably going to toss a spark plug in it, so I'll go grab it. Spark plug wrench. Okay, so there's our U spark plug. There's our new one. So they're a good indicator of what's going on in the engine. If they're covered in oil, obviously there's oil getting into your combustion chamber. If they're like super white and burnt, you're running too lean. This one's a little black, like a little rich, but not overly sooty in the actual contact area. So like I don't really have a problem with this. It's fine. It's also probably doesn't. I guess I must have changed the one on the other compressor because this one's old. So yeah, we'll toss another one in. Can't hurt. Okay, so with our spark plug now tight, and no complaint of no spark before, so we don't need to change the ignition coil or anything like that. We've got our carburetor on there. I've got our spacer / gasket face back in place. Toss the face back on again. Just trying to line up the two holes and the lever. Oh, forgot to put the choke. There's just a thing that drops on and off here for the choke. That's your lever, so you can reach it through the plastic. So just no tools needed, just drop it on, off.
Put the breather hose back up again. Make sure everything's kind of touching. I've had it before on other ones where the case starts to hit on some of the mounting brackets, depending on the style of this. I have all GX270s. So I've had to kind of massage the case. It'll either hit like the float bowl. It's really close here, but not close enough. I think that spacer helps to keep it off a little bit. But yeah, so if that happens on your end, just a little dab from a ball peen hammer will probably help you out. These are the heads of an air compressor here. This bung and this box here are where the air come in. So I'll show you how we got to this point. Okay, there you go. So started off by just I'm doing an electric start and a carburetor cleanup and stuff on this GX270. Went to go pull the air filters off, and they're like collapsed and rusted. So they're like really bad. They've probably never been changed. So we've probably put like 100 hours on this thing, and that's when I was gonna do that. So yeah, a little embarrassing that didn't get done right when this was bought used. But I don't think I really ever actually intended to run this thing as much as we have. Just kind of worked out, and maintenance went to the wayside, but we're trying to redeem ourselves here. So those air filters don't have a part number on them. I looked up them on the manufacturer's website. I found a part number, but I could only find one air filter available online, and it was a Jenny part number. So it was an air filter that was $55 US plus shipping, plus duties, plus taxes, blah, blah, blah. And there's 2 air filters, and I probably want to get 4 so I can, continue to maintain it. But I'm not spending $400 on air filters. It's not going to happen. So, went on the old Amazon and bought housings with filters. The housing comes with a filter, and then it comes with an extra air filter. So, and it comes with a threaded piece to go inside of the block. So I'm just going to show a quick video on how to put those together. And these were 11 bucks. So yeah. Okay, so here's an installed one. The kit comes with an air filter. This is an extra because there's one inside of the actual housing. There you go. So the particular unit that we're working on right now has a barbed or a union or whatever you want to call it. So we have to replace this with this. There's no flat on this, so I'm just gonna put a pair of vice grips on it, then it'll come loose. So I thought maybe some dope or something or some tape would be necessary, but there's nothing on there from the factory. I trust their abilities. So just take that piece there. This is the one that holds your thing. It's got a little sealing washer on it and a wing nut. And there's no real tool for this, so I'm just gonna use a flathead screwdriver. Putting it in there, kind of sideways. It's 1/2 inch MPT for most compressor heads. Has a taper in it, so this won't go all the way down. It'll get tight before it seats. Just go until it's pretty tight, and then filter housing. This is the inlet. So whatever direction you want to go with that, I'm going to go up and away from the motor. Toss your filter in the center. Put your cover on. so. Back to that bag and throw a wing nut on. So the top of this hat, it's kind of like an air cleaner on an old carbureted engine. As you tighten this up, this hat will seat against the top of the air filter. The air filter has a gasket on either side. So you're pushing it against the base and pushing it against the lid or the hat of the air cleaner. And that's that. It's a simple maintenance item you can do on your compressors. Any piston style compressor is going to have an intake somewhat similar to this. So yeah, it's $11 each, and you get an extra air filter with each one. So that's cool. And then yeah, save yourself some monies compared to the factory ones. This is probably a much more stout air filter, but as long as you stay on top of changing them, unlike this one, it should be a good solution for you. Now that I think about this, I'm probably going to rotate these down so that when it rains, water doesn't go in there. But besides that, yep, there you go. I'm gonna get back to reassembling this, but hopefully that was a helpful little bit of information. And if I have any kind of updates on using these, or if anything changes or anything, I'll make sure to add that into the video. But it's pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching.